Peace, peace, y'all. Welcome to today's Cosmic Nobodies Conversations with your girl Sunshine Monet L. Today I will be interviewing one of my favorite rappers, one of my favorite MCs, Enoch Seventh Prophet. He just put a project out today called let me make sure I get the words in the correct order. Therapy Session Cure My Dear. This project feels very personal, very therapeutic, and so not only are we going to talk about his project, we're going to talk about his experience in therapy and men's mental health and emotional health and healing. It's going to be a healing conversation. So, it's divinely on time too, because if you guys don't know, the moon is next to Pleiades tonight in the Taurus constellation. And Pleiades is the seven wounded sisters, teaching us about how to deal with our wounds, how to transmute those wounds. So it's very exciting to sit on this platform and pretty much have a moon and Pleiades and Taurus conversation. That's essentially what's about to happen. So you guys tune in, make sure you share, tell your friends, and we're going to get the ball rolling. Uno momento. I don't know how much background music, noise, whatever y'all can hear. I know it's a lot going on, but bear with me, people. Bear with me, people. Peace, Roxo. How you doing, beloved? Oh, there we go. Haha. Peace to the God. Can you hear me okay? No.
Boom. Can you hear me
Oh, there
now?
we go. Yes, I can hear you
Yeah, let me plug up my phone so don't transition doing
now.
so don't transition doing this conversation.
Peace and prosperity. Happy Monday, and congratulations on your project and
Thank you. I
all the things
appreciate
that
it.
to come with it.
Thank you. Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
I guess before I ask any questions, I wanted to start off with the first track, if that's okay with you.
That's fine with me. I don't you can ask anything you want to ask. I'm here.
All right, so we're gonna play the first track. This one is called "Love Foxy Song."
I can't hear
Can you hear it?
it. Now I can. Looking in the man in my reflection, early 50s, learn some lessons. Saying I think before it's my confession. Had to us let it burn. Time a little, so baby, all my drama got it in that in the bug. And my buzz fell victim to most of the hits. Silly rap, fixing for kids, watching that fire. That duck got a baby still so. See me like peppermint tea on the cold rainy day though. That's why the cage was sung and flew away though. Stupid shit. Chicken head. She's been triggered by other niggas who love affairs. Hit the kitchen, make you pay the price. Change your car, change your life. This is a rock kill song. 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 This is rock kill song. Don't be caught up in your feelings, just reminiscing. Talking to my therapist to get it out my system. Blood pressure peaking. Need physical healing. This ain't feeling good. Feeling bad trauma. When you my twin flame, karmic lesson. Broke the line and hide your hand. Link to universe, we don't chat.
So that's Love Foxy Song. And for those of you guys who have not checked out the project yet, I don't know why not, you can catch it on Bandcamp, enoch7prophet.bandcamp.com. And your tracks go session 1, Love, Foxy Song, then session 2, Sadness, session 3, Anger, and then session 4. So for those of you guys that don't know, the session parts are actually dialogues between him and therapist. And then it goes into the song to correlate with that therapy session.
Good job, Sunshine. Yes.
I do my best.
Yes.
I do my
Yes.
best. I really enjoyed listening to your project in its full capacity. I've had the pleasure to listen to your process of creating the project.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to talk about the transition because I've listened to your season of the Vic, and then we move into your vlogging that you did for 30 days, and
Mhm.
then we come into this project. So how was that transition between those last 3 projects for you?
Um, dang, that's a great question. I think it was more so of now being very intentional within how I now decide to put out music. Like I put out a lot of music, of course, and all my music has some intention to it, thought process into it. But now it's more so of me stepping into a bag of storytelling that is my life storytelling and putting certain goose eggs in the rhyme and getting people to dissect it. So season of the Vic was kind of that season of the Vic. It was more so this is the season I'm in of these storytelling and putting my truth to beats. So then when it came to I was matter of fact I was doing the audio audio book, but I was doing the audio journaling during the process of season of the Vic.
Okay.
So during that whole time, I was journaling and writing season of the Vic, and I was fasting, and I was like shedding things in the process, like did a spiritual bath and all these other things to kind of decompress, not decompress, kind of to shed away the old energies and old feelings, so I could
Mhm.
actually be focused into writing. I didn't even smoke weed for a month. Like for that, and I was like, that's where I was at to just articulately to be articulate and getting the words out of how I wanted it to flow. So I was journaling in the process of writing season of the Vic. So after I was done the 31 days of journaling, that's when I put that out before the season of the Vic, not knowing that somewhere down the line I I had all these things, in place because I may need them at some time. So that
Mhm.
transition was pretty cool because it was simultaneously happening. But now transitioning from season of the Vic into therapy session, it's like I had to dig deeper. I had
Okay.
to I had to wait actually. I had to wait until I lived a little bit more and then I was able to write these things. So I think um the journaling May 9th or May 10th, that's when the process, I think, with real therapy sessions started to happen in the process for me. And that's how, I kind of transitioned. I didn't do the same thing prior to, like fasting, not smoking. I didn't do that, but what I did was just wrote songs without weed, if that makes sense. Just I
Yeah.
fasted on that and not just to get them out. You know what I mean? And then when I memorized them, of course, then I came right here and I just without, just from memory and just, understanding how the flow went. So it was, I think it was not a difficult transition, but it was one that it was like, damn, I got to talk about it. I got to write something about how I'm feeling to get it out.
Mhm. Awesome. 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 And I personally enjoyed all the projects. I just thought it was interesting the transition of seeing you go um, from I won't say level artist because I've never heard surface level from you, but to go from personal to more and more interpersonal as time goes on. And this project seems very raw and emotion. And it does sound like a sober project. It sounds like a sober project. I think that if it wasn't sober, it would be a little bit. It wouldn't be as raw as it is. You wouldn't feel.
I wouldn't be in those
The feeling is
feelings.
there. Yeah, you wouldn't be in those feelings like that. It would be numb.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for that. That's very brave of you to do that. So in the conversation of therapy and healing and things of that nature, I know, well, according to your Bandcamp discography, your first project is the Seventh Prophet EP.
Mm-hmm.
Now, walk us through the transformation of Enoch from that project up into this therapy session project, like the healing transformation is happening.
Seven Prophet EP, I believe, was dropped 2004, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or a little earlier than that. But that was more so. Oh man, 2004. We did that project in 3 days. It was like a weekend project. My friend at the time came up, him and his wife, and me and my ex-wife were actually living together as just like, friends or whatever have you. So we were living together. So they came up, he brought his equipment up. And the first day he got there, I started writing for tracks. Like I started writing. The third day, I was like, fuck. And it was like we was on a time restraint because he was leaving in about 6 hours so he could head back down south. I
Okay.
said, damn. So we went out to the club. We went to go see DJ. We went to go see Questlove spin at the 5 spot. Like in this down, it was like you go downstairs and Questlove was spinning. And when we left there, it was like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. And he was about to leave in like 3 more hours to go home. And that last song hit and I wrote it. And then we started to push it out. So I think that process of it for me was kind of different because now I'm writing in 3 days. I'm trying to get out a solid project called Enoch, Seven Prophet in a couple of days. And that's what I did. So from there on, I think my process kind of started to change a little bit because a friend of mine, his name is Eric Miller, and I sent him a couple of songs from other projects that I've done. He was like, "Yeah, man, these are really good, but they may be going over people's head." He said, "I'm not saying dumb down anything. I'm just saying they may be going over people's head. The young boys like the beats, but they don't know what the hell you saying." He said, "I know what you're saying." I was like, "Word, okay, all right, okay." So from there on, I think where I really turned the corner in writing was Sonic Gods. That's where the authenticity and the writing and the transparency happened. And at that time, I was going through like a divorce. And I married the young lady who I went to high school with. We was roommates, and then we got married, things of that nature. So during my divorce, the song that kind of did it for me that I wrote was "Carry Your Own Weight," and it was just describing what I did in the marriage, describing how I felt in the marriage, describing how maybe she felt in the marriage, and I had to take accountability within writing that rhyme. That shit was hard to like. It was difficult because now it's my artistic ability up against my human side, I would say.
Okay.
And it's like, you sure you want to say that shit? Don't say that shit. People go think, and then my artistic side is like, but it's the truth. Like, what else can you not say? We're taking you down this path. And I wrote that song, You Gotta Carry Your Own Weight, at my uncle's funeral in the back of the church. And the download started happening. And I was like, damn. In my head, I was like, shit, I don't have no paper. I can't write this shit down. Like, And then now they're going to call me up to do a poem for my uncle. And I'm like, fuck. Like, my cousin sitting next to me trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I can't do like, and then my ex-wife is supposed to have showed up to the funeral because everybody was asking where she was, but she didn't show up. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So when I got home, that's when I had the opportunity to write it. Things that was going on in my head, I was like kind of jotting them down in my mind. And then when I had a chance, I was able to write the song, Carry Your Own Weight. And that's when I started to be like transparent.
Mm.
And it was scary at points. I was like, I don't want to say that shit. I'm going to find another rhyme that's going to connect me somewhere else and not me be transparent within it. So that's what happened, you know. And then now from there, we had Reagan era where that point I was divorced now. I ain't had nothing to lose. Whatever I'm going to say that shit. And I ain't got nobody to tell me otherwise when I come home later or when they hear
Mm-hmm.
it. You know what I mean? So Reagan era was the one where I turned the corner when I did no, it was a moment of your time. Or it was a minute of your time. A minute of your time, that's where I turned the corner, a minute of your time.
Okay.
And I turned the corner with that one. And because I did a song called Bolos Rap. This is the underground Gaddafi rap. 14 karat gold,
Mm-hmm.
soul to soul, take control of the government rack. Crack, Reagan era, marrying and bury that bitch set me up. And I was like, I never used the word bitch in a rhyme. I said, but that
Mm-hmm.
shit feel good because Marion Barry did say that. It's not something I made up. And I was like, oh shit, that sounds fly. I'm gonna keep it. After that, I think came like Reagan era because I think he put out 2 joints in 1 year. So Reagan era is when I really started to story tell and tell my life within Reagan era because I'm a Reagan's baby. I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. So I'm a Reagan's baby. So I seen all the crack epidemic and my mom go through that shit. So I wrote about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then now, years later, it's like, what else? And then when I do features with people, I put my truth in the feature. I say where I'm at in that space and time in the feature. So I'm not telling the story. So that's how we ended up, then I did Season of the Vic. I said, oh, of course I had other hours in between that, like Nostalgia, where I talked about
Yeah.
DC, you know what I'm saying? And I talked about, Black Indian and Nonchalant and Section 8 Mob. Like I'm storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I first started MCing, I was like, I couldn't storytell. So now that I lived a little bit and I could understand certain things from back then, I kind of put those pieces together and I'm being authentic in that flow. So we had all of these projects and Season of the Vic showed me and at that time I was in a relationship during the Season of the Vic. Or I was coming out of a relationship doing writing the Season of the Vic. So there was like certain things that I was edgy about in rhymes and like
Mm-hmm.
wordplay. I was really edgy with that shit. Like BBD, can't trust the big button. It's like I was like really edgy with it and still telling the truth. Autumn, I was still telling those were truthful rhymes coming from a real place transparently. You know, and then being in therapy for shit. This is like my 4th round of therapy, I think, ever in my life. I did it when I was in middle school when my pops transitioned unknowingly. I did it after I got divorced. Me and my child's mom had split up, so I was caught in between that. And then this last relationship forced me to go back into therapy. I got to fucking start over again.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy session comes into place because now what the fuck I gotta lose? I've been journaling. I've been like Monday night quarterback in a wildest relationship where it is and what happened and shit. And then I see this post and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna get at that shit later. Cause I don't know what to say about that shit. I'm gonna sit on it. Anger was the first song written for a damn therapy session.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was the first song that I wrote, and it wasn't even titled anger. It was titled mad or some shit like that. And I was like, I'm not mad, I'm angry. So that's how anger came to place. And then, that's why certain, your ears heard it. A couple of other friends of my ears heard the draft of anger. So it was just
Mhm.
like, oh, some people was like, yo, really? Like that's where you going? I'm like, shit. What they got to lose? There's no lies detected in anger for me.
Well,
So
let's listen to anger then. Let's
yeah,
go.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Peace
let's
to
do it.
everybody in this jump. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Peace and prosperity, everybody in here. Happy moon and Pallades. We chatting
Hmm.
about therapy session here, my dear. This is the new project released by Enoch Seven Prophet. And this is anger, y'all.
Yo, you ain't our shit. Man, I went to therapy the other day, and I was really angry about the situation I was in. We love company, so much wine and pizza. She puts a that gold in the keeper. Yeah. Because of uniquity, I had to remove my energy from the wicked ways on the south side of Maryland. Emotions are out of control, like a caravan with no drive. With no seatbelt, gonna be a long ride. When we drink and drive, sipping on the fence. When the spirits collide, didn't survive. I pour out a little. Put your name around people bad to put you up, no gasoline. Like we'll meet you in the conversation. Real slutty. You gotta chill with all them allegories. Make a lot of truth just upon your story. I'm a false prophet. Sex culture, lady, I'm gonna tell you, bitch, just to tarnish your image. No, that's my witness. She said I had a bunch of bitches. Didn't trust me around her own friends, except for one. She didn't have that many. Ancestors forgive me, I didn't listen the second time. She had me by the balls, hands tight like rubber, bitch fun. Will take this anger will destroy your soul. Let's continue so this wine and reefer. It's cheaper to let it go than to keep her. Remove y'all. Yeah.
The instrumental is fire. It sounds
Yeah.
choppy. That's all right. You know what that means? That means that you need to go to bandcamp.com,
Capri.
type in Enoch 7 Prophet, get that therapy session, Hear My Dear Project. It's up there. Y'all listen, y'all run up them plays, y'all purchase the project. You can even buy this man's whole discography up there for $48.50. So y'all go on up there and support the troops.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Yeah,
That's how you listen to it for real, for real.
absolutely. What's up, Capri? Appreciate you, man. Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you for tapping in. So you wrote this song. Okay, so we heard the post. I heard the post. Wait, I got the phone call. I got the phone call. But at that point, I had already had my little situation going on, so I wasn't really whatever. But
Right.
you saw the post. You had these feelings. You put the song out. You're sitting down and you're listening to it. What are you feeling?
I shouldn't have said that. Let me say it this way.
And what was this way? Was this way more anger, or was this way like, let me clean that up?
Let me clean that up because I want to get this part out. I was like, misery loves company, so does wine and reefer. And I was like, shit,
Mm.
I don't want to say it like that. I want to say it. Misery loves company, so does wine and reefer. It's cheaper to let it go than to keep her. And I was like, oh, fuck. That shit, that line right there gives me chills every time I say it.
Mm.
Because misery loves company, and so does wine and reefer. It's
Mm-hmm.
cheaper to let her go than to keep her. It's not cheaper to keep her. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It's cheaper to let her go than to keep her. Remove y'all. workers of iniquity. I had to remove mine. When I said remove y'all, I took that from, if you've ever seen the it's a reggae class, it's like it's Jamaican classic. It's oh not countryman. It's oh, I can't think of the movie.
Reggae movies.
I can't think of the movie right now, but it was like um oh man, it wasn't roots rock reggae. It was like I can't think of it right now, but anyway, they stepped into the reggae club and they took over the booth of the guy because he was playing disco. He was like, "Look here,
Mhm.
man, me wanna play roots. Go ahead and play roots forward." So he went up in there, snatched the DJ out, and then the DJ called the police officers, and they couldn't get in there. So the DJ was like, "Remove ya!" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what the fuck I'm gonna say." Because at
Nice.
that time, I was even doing the process of therapy sessions. I was reading the chapter out of Psalms a day.
Okay.
So when you know how you will read something now in your season years, and you read it when you was a child or early or younger, you didn't really understand certain passages. So when they said iniquity, I had to remove my wickedness from the wicked witch on the. When I said misery loves company, so does wine and reefer. It's cheaper to let it go than to keep her. Remove Yah, workers of iniquity. I was like, what the fuck? I've heard that word so many times in my life. What does
Mhm.
that mean? So I went to my like my metaphysical purple Bible that I do have, and then I went to physically like, what does this word mean? It means wickedness for wicked people. So I had to remove my so I had to remove my energy from the wicked witch on the south side of Maryland. Emotions are out of control like a caravan with no driver. Put on your seatbelt. It's going to be a long ride. When you drink and drive, sipping on your feelings. When our spirits collide, didn't survive. I pour out a little liquor for you. Wrote your name on a brown paper bag, then burned you up. No Vaseline. Life will put you in the Kama Sutra and do you mean real slutty. And when I said real, I had to like be aggressive with it because that's how my energy was, because that's how I was feeling. So you got to chill with all them allegories. You make a lot of truth just to post a story. I'm a false prophet. Sex cult, addiction to pretty women. I'm going to tell your business just to tarnish your image. Lord is my witness. She said I had a bunch of bitches. Didn't trust me around her home friends except for one. She didn't have many. Ancestors, forgive me. I didn't listen the second time. She had me by the balls, squeezed tight like government funds. That hook is from Marvin Gaye's Anger. Anger will make you
Okay.
sick, children.
Yeah.
Anger will destroy your soul. So when I put that on it, it felt good. It felt right. It gave me chills every time I recorded or try to say it a certain or different ways. So I was just cleaning it up. I wasn't changing what I said. I just wanted to clean it up and articulately get my point across.
Do you feel like you got your point across?
Definitely. Because that's that when I saw the post, I said, I'm gonna answer this shit, but I'm not gonna answer it in the way of like going online and
Mm-hmm.
I wanna answer it. I wanna, you know, see what that is and look at it, stare at it. Oh yeah, okay. So even in the skit, even in that therapy session that I had from session 1, session 2, session 3, in session 3, I started to describe what made me angry. It was the fucking post that you said these things that wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
But Lord is my witness. She said I had a bunch of bitches. You said I had a bunch of bitches. I don't have a bunch of bitches. You were the only bitch I was dating. Like that's how I would say it. That's the conversation we would have. So everything I'm saying is what has already been said. And behind closed or in public, behind closed doors or in public. So I felt that I had to defend my mental health and not give it away, like not give my peace away to
Right.
enter instead of being like, all right, let me reel this shit back in there and then let me write it down because this is how I'm feeling right now. So it felt good to get it out. That's the anger emotions of therapy session.
We like it. We like it here.
Yeah.
And for those of you guys who don't know, he does have like the skits in between the tracks. For some of you guys that just came in, there's skits in between the tracks where he is talking to his therapist, and he gets in, direct communication about, the first session is he's literally talking about how you guys met, the first date, and establishing things. And it's funny because I, kind of sort of have front row seats to the relationship. So it's like, I'm in my head like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember those pictures. I was like, oh snap. Hey. And then, keep going, fast forward to the session 2. And now we're getting into the gritty of it, the things that, was never said, as far as how the relationship was going, the turmoil and things like that. And then we get into sadness. So let's talk about sadness a little bit. Believe um was that track 4 you have on sadness. So for sadness, what's going through our mind when we're writing this one?
Um, was going through the process. Oh man, it is like it's it's so for artists who are like listening, who are like real true artists, art form, who's very authentic in what they say and how they do it, whether you're a spiritualist, whether you're an artist, whether you are a truck driver. You know what I mean? You have these times that you can remember vividly of what you delivered to someone's house. You can remember if you're a truck driver or a UPS guy, you vividly remember seeing Sunshine's face every morning. She's smiling, and then you get in there and be like, "Where's Sunshine today? Oh, she's not here. Oh, okay." But you remember like those things. Oh, Sunshine doesn't work here anymore. Like, oh man, you. So that truck driver will remember things of you being nice to him or you having a smile on your face and shit like and stuff like that. Then you have the spiritualists who could hone in on what may be troubling you. And then every time they see you, they may ask you, hey, you do what I said? How you been doing? Are you still dealing with that? That person may have forgot about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you have zoned in and picked it up. Me as an artist, I had to motherfucking go back and pull those feelings forward of things I said I wouldn't show pictures in public of so-called basement. You never said I couldn't rhyme about it. So now I'm vividly painting a picture for the listener. I'm the wrong person to fuck with when it starts when I get in that bag actually and start to paint a picture for someone who don't know me or
Mm-hmm.
don't know you or don't know the situation. I smell the stint in the air. So that whole stint in the air is a memory. Writing that shit, I smelled the memory in the air, and took me back to writing sad because it's very sad that um we go through sadness when we are in breakup relationships or a relationship that didn't fucking work out or y'all just I don't know what happened. Y'all just, you know what I mean, whether it's friendship, relationship, family ship, you have this sad moments. And then you try to go deep in yourself and figure out, was it you? Was it these sad moments? And I had to speak from a physical space, a mental space, and a spiritual space all in the same breath. Because when you're talking about a basement, sometimes you're not talking about a physical basement. You're talking about everything that's down there that you don't want nobody to fucking see. So you don't allow anybody to come to your basement.
Mm-hmm.
So now when that person you love and trust has seen your basement, seen the other side of you, then you decide to go online and speak ill of that person whom you trusted with your deepest thoughts, and he or she may be an artist. Those memories are going to come back and they're going to put it in a fucking rhyme or put it in a song. And you can't blame them.
It's a dangerous game.
I was married 7 years, and after I got divorced, I never wrote a rhyme or dedicated a whole album to my ex-wife.
Mm.
She didn't trigger those moments. I didn't trigger those moments. We're friends to this day. Like we're friends now. Like we're friends. So we had these conversations, which are healthy conversations. But then someone who has been good to you, you may give them your ass to kiss. So as a writer, I'm going to sit with the shit. It's sad to sit with it. It's sad to write what I wrote, but it's my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about mental health or protecting your peace, I protected my peace in the sense of I'm going to write about it. I'm not going to give you my peace. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to protect me in the process of how I write it. When you enter into my space and take my laptop, my shoes, all my shit, and then you take my blood pressure meds, that means you really don't love me, because what if I really, really need them joints?
Right.
So I put that bitch and stole my meds. I had to say bitch again because that's the fuck how I'm feeling.
Right.
You feel me? So with all of that being said, it's sadness was difficult to even, even in the song, I asked my ancestors. What's the flower? We gave you a few signs a few times, but you didn't pay us no never mind. I guess love is blind, or the pussy bomb. Is the pussy bomb, or you just really blind about what the fuck is going on? My ancestors are telling me this shit. They
Mm-hmm.
said we gave you a few signs a few times, but you didn't pay us no never mind. I guess love is blind, or is the pussy bomb? Ring the alarm. I gave the key to my heart. She took everything right along with the MacBook Pro. Blood pressure high. The bitch that stole my meds. How I know? I smelled the stint in the air. And I knew she was there. Stealing all but my belongings like she really don't give a fuck. Pick up the phone, you hear me calling. It's the same stint in the basement. So it was difficult to write it.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to say it because that's how I was feeling.
Respect. Now you
You
wrote in like very transparent, very vulnerable tracks. Are you going to be performing these? Are you going to be repeating these in spaces? What are we doing with this?
Every time I release something, I'm gonna perform it. I don't, that shit don't, one monkey don't stop with any shows. You know what I mean? Even if, like when me and you did Indigo
Mm-hmm.
on March 15th, when we was at DC, I was trying to figure out how to rearrange that word in real time. Didn't happen. It's like
Mm-hmm.
haircut like Anita Baker. You know what I mean? It was just like, that's a rhyme. That's a bar from EPMD's. It's your thing. Haircut like Anita Baker. That's, you know what I mean? But it is
Right.
what it was. So I would love to, I think for that show in Augusta, that's probably what my set would be. Like I want to do it in intimate sessions. You know what I mean? I want to do it in a that is a conversation. And I think that's what it has been. Like therapy session here, my dear, has been a conversation through my text message, through my like DMs, and it's like, yo, I got questions, and I'm like, I got answers. What's your questions?
I was going to ask you, how has the feedback been since the release of the project and, people finally hearing your side of the story? Because, I know you personally, so I've been hearing it, but I've also, been what I see you on social media platforms and things like that. And like you said, you're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? You've been quiet. So for other people who don't know, behind the curtain, to finally hear your side of the story. And we've been hearing the other side of the story. We've been going in.
Right.
But like, what kind of feedback have you been getting since people finally get to hear you?
Here's the crazy thing. A person that I would just say this. There's two people. My cousin James had hit me up today. He was like, "Yo, Mama," he's talking about my older cousin. He's talking about his mom. He's like, "Mama, she got that album cover as a screensaver on her computer." I was like, "What?" Like her mom is in his mom is in her 70s, 80s, 70s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what? Like, yeah, she really like it. She really liked the music, and I'm like, okay. Then I got another. I was like, appreciate it. Then I got another message that said, "I've been hearing in the streets that you've been making good music. I've been hearing in the streets. I can't wait to hear this project. I heard about it, but now I can't wait to hear it. I've been hearing things in the streets." And I'm like, oh, okay. I just, and those are the responses that I've been getting as far as, people saying it's dope. People like the message behind it, the intimacy, the vulnerability with it. You know what I mean? Because I guess you don't see a lot of that in hip hop. I don't know. I just went on the feel of how I'm doing. This is my safe space to write. This
Mm-hmm.
is my first love, and it'll always be my first love. If I got a woman or I'm married, hip hop music will always be the music will always come over you. It's music. It's my daughter. They in tight. They in number one spots. If there's a female involved, it's number two. So it's just like these are the things. But so um that's how the response has been thus far. I would love to like perform this, like I said, in intimate spaces and have that conversation, because it's my truth. You know, I know it's been chatter like that on the internet. I know that. I've seen it. I'm not here to prove anybody that I'm right or wrong. I just want to share my story, put in and put it in the sense of there's no cut cards. Love, Foxy song. There's no fucking cut cards. I said your name. This is a Raquel song. Once again, Hear My Dear. Therapy
Mm-hmm.
session. Hear My Dear. Marvin Gaye's album was called Hear My Dear. Here, My Dear. I text that to a friend like, yo, I think I'm gonna call it Therapy Session Hear My Dear. And we met up for lunch or something, she was like, yo, Hear My Dear? That's a dope title. And I was like, yeah, it's just Here. She was like, nah, you sent it to me as Hear. I said, really? Let me see it. And she was like, yeah, it's like here. Like, hear what I'm saying? I said, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit. Perfect. So that's how we got like Hear My Dear, because it's dedicated to you. Like this is what you wanted. All the things you've probably said about me online that is negative. This is what you wanted. You want a response. Probably wasn't quick enough. I don't. I'm moving God's speed. And sometimes God's speed is slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always fast. I'm a thinker. I have to intentionally put these things out because I don't know if you asked me this. I know Jay Robinson asked me. She said, "Do you think? What do you think the feed? What do you think that? Um, do you think there'll be a retaliation with it?" Like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't give a fuck. I say what I said. There's truth in it. I have receipts. You think I'm? Do you think, Sunshine, that when you heard session 3, that was a freestyle? I'm reading the post. I'm reading what it says, word for word. So it's, and then when you say my daughter put my daughter's name in the post in a negative manner, it's gloves off. So the feedback has been good. You know, I think it's funny in the sense of how I was doing the rollout leading up to like therapy session. Because do you have a safe space that you can go to voice your opinion without any judgment? Do you agree with therapy or do you not agree with it? And if you do, and if you are against it, will you stop somebody who's your friend from going to therapy? Would you stop them from learning themselves and figuring and navigating these things out? Would you stop that?
Right.
If you don't want to go to therapy, I'll be your safe space. You can say whatever you want to say without any judgment, because I don't have no room to judge you. I have room to fix me and try to figure out how to live with me for the rest of, however long I got. So I put it all on the line in therapy session because I'm seeing it. I'm hearing it. I hear the bullshit. So it came out on your birthday, 2/23. Here, my dear. That's yeah. So Marvin Gaye gave his ex-wife the damn Here, My Dear album during a divorce settlement. Here you go. This is yours. She got to live with that shit the rest of her life. She got to listen to that. Is a classic throughout R&B history. It's still playing to this day. And matter of fact, to even when I wrote Foxy's song, I was just gonna call it Love. I was trying to figure out hook wise what I wanted to say. This is Foxy's song. It sounds really like 60s, 70s, like it's a black portation movie. And I was like, nah, it's not fitting. So I went to YouTube and I was pulling up the Marvin Gaye Here My Dear, and I was listening to Anna's song. This is Anna's song. This is Anna's song. And I was like, oh, let me see if it works on sadness. Let me see. And I was like, this is Foxy's song. And I was like, that shit sounds whack. I don't like that. I didn't even want to say her name. Once again, I'm fighting with this human and the artist. The human is like, man, don't be saying that motherfucking name. Don't say that shit. And I had a friend over too, and I was just like, I can't even say it. Like I got, friends over, and I was just like, I'm already in my space and I didn't want to say the name. But I tried Anna. This is Anna's song. I was like, I don't know no Annas, except for my aunt who transitioned last year. So when I did After Company Left, turned it on, came back to this corner. I was like, this is Raquel's song. This is Raquel's song. And I was like, ooh, that's it. That's it. Fuck it. We have now set the precedence of who we're talking about in these three songs. There's no subliminal messages. There's no, he called himself the prophet and there's no subliminal messages. There's no I am a coke buster, little divine. Oh, I'm a coke buster, sex buster, or whatever, little divine. There's no subliminal messages here. I said what I said. It's transparent. It's true. If people, here's the thing. If you were hearing stories, but not hearing my story, you as a person should have been like, hold on, wait. Not saying you, Sunshine. I'm just saying you as a person should have been like, hold on a second. But why he ain't say nothing yet? But you over here still? Damn, that shit, it may be true though. I don't know. I'm gonna ride over here. I want to see how many people ride over there. You know what I mean? And I definitely, I'll say this in private and I say this in public. And I would say like, I big sunshine up on two levels, on a lot of levels. The first level is that when I reached out to Sunshine to do the March 15th show, I didn't think I would hear back from Sunshine because of all this chatter shit going on over here. Right? So when Sunshine hit me up, she was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. And then the night of the show, I'm looking for Sunshine. I'm like, damn, Sunshine ain't show up yet. Like, what? She told me what she was, but maybe she not gonna come. Then when you showed up, then we did the song, Indigo. Your energy wasn't fucked up. Your energy wasn't like, damn, Enoch, your energy wasn't fucked up. Your energy was like it is. It was like when I first met you. You know what I mean? Your energy didn't change. And then I was telling my crew, I was like, yo, I'm surprised Sunshine came. And my crew was like, yo, I'm surprised she came too. Like, shit, Sunshine. It was like, Sunshine about the art. She don't give a fuck. And I was like, you don't think so? They was like, nah, I don't think she give a fuck
I didn't give
because
a fuck.
she came out here. She came out here to rock. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So then when that big whole thing happened on the line, I reached out to certain people. Certain people wasn't reaching back. I already knew like they drunk the orange juice. So then I had like these dreams, indications of Sunshine. I was just like, man, I don't know if I should call Sunshine or not because I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. And I don't want Sunshine to go back and say what it is. And I'm like, you know what? During my therapy process, I always think logically and I don't use my heart. So I was now trying to balance both. You know how you got the heart, lighter than a feather aspect of life, which that's
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna take yourself through hell, or you're gonna balance out and be heaven. Which one you gonna do? And I was like,
Right.
well, let me hit up Sunshine and see what it is. And Sunshine was like, nah. They putting out the Enoch Hater Club cards, and I didn't want to be a part of the Enoch Hater Club. I said, oh, okay, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So I just want to thank you for being authentically yourself and how you are online. That's how you are in real time. You know what I mean? And then we'll meet a lot of people who are not real online, who's real online, and then you see them offline.
Saying
They
it.
ain't it. You know what I mean? They ain't it, and you see it. You feel it, and you feel it. So, um, yeah. So that's how it was, and people who knew the backdrop of it or was watching it, like having their popcorn, watching this shit, you can feel that.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. You can see it in people's expressions when you see them when all y'all are friends, or when you approach that person and say, "Hey, I thought me and you was better than that. I thought me and you were friends," and that person gives you feedback like a weak speakers and a mic that don't work. Feedback, and you're like, "Oh, I ain't fucking with you no more."
Mm-hmm.
And you better be glad you wasn't in the rhyme. I ain't want nobody in the crossfire. But you better be glad that person wasn't in the rhyme. But I will say this. The person that I'm speaking about, when I said in the rhyme, pick up the phone, you hear me calling. That person was there
Mm-hmm.
and had all of my I'm sorry. Um, hold on 1 second.
Mhm.
My daughter be calling me at the wrong times. I'll call her back. So with all that being said, it was like, um, I had to paint a picture for those who was there, for those who understood what was happening, for those who was blindly walking into things and not knowing. But the stories that I say, they were there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So with all that being said, it was more of a conscious thing. Saying the name out loud was more of a freedom thing. Because when we manifest things, we say things out loud and we make it happen. We make it come true. Or we just, all this pent up energy that we have, I just release those things. Um, so that person was there. So those rhymes are not just frivolous rhymes. I'm storytelling really, and it's my life in the story. So I just want to thank you for even when I sent you the joint, she was the first joint I sent you. You was like, "Yo, you need to come on the podcast and talk about this." And I was like, "Yo, Sunshine is down. Let's go. Let's make it happen." So yeah,
Yeah, because I'm an energy awareness coach for a reason. This is what I do. I can feel energy. I know, my intuition be in rooms that my physical body ain't in. And I know when I hear authenticity and I know when I hear somebody trying to manipulate situations and scenarios and things, to make sure, the audience thinks what they gonna think. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? I'm not ignorant to those kind of things, and I don't play on it. And one
right.
thing about Sunshine, I like to mind my business. And I told you that too. I was like, bro, I mind my business. You know what I
I'm
mean?
on my business, bro.
I mind my business, and I mean that wholeheartedly. And I would have continued to mind my business had I not received that phone call. Like, ma'am, you fucked up calling my phone. I'm literally an energy awareness
Right,
coach.
right.
I could you could have been cool too. Like, but it is what it is. People tell on themselves. If you sit still long enough, people will tell on themselves. It is what it is. And whatever they tell on themselves about, that's what it is. And
Yeah.
so,
Hey, hold on, and just to piggyback off that, remember that card reading that you gave me during the summer of last year during the process. You were part of the journal because I talked about you
oh
in the
yeah,
journal as far as
yeah.
yeah. So remember, you was like, there's people that's whispering about you, but I don't know who they are. I don't, it'll come out soon or whatever. And a couple of months later, I saw the post. I didn't see it. Someone
Mm,
texted and sent it to me.
mm,
So if people are talking in rooms that I'm not in, and me and you are friends, and you don't protect our friendship, what kind of friend are you? But
right.
my friend's friend was a friend of her and was like, "Ain't this your godson's godfather?" Like, hey, Enoch, I want to send you this, but bro, I don't know. She sent it to me. So therefore, things things come to life if you slow down and think. And yeah. And count it all joy says, damn, I don't want that type of birthday gift.
Sometimes you need a mirror for your birthday. Sometimes
Yeah,
that's exactly what you need is a mirror.
right. Absolutely.
What I admire about you, because vulnerability is not my strong area. But what I like and what I admire about you is how vulnerable you have been with your art. I started seeing your vulnerability like heavier in your Just a Minute project, and you get into say and um, keep going from there. Mojo is a song that comes to mind heavy in the realms of therapy and mental health. We got 20 seconds left. All right, we
Oh
got
shit.
20 seconds left. Give
Yeah,
me a
no.
statement of what you would say to the men about utilizing their gifts for their mental health.
Utilize your gift for your mental health. Don't be afraid to either paint it, draw it, capture it. and then jot down what you captured and how it made you feel. And if you could talk to anybody who don't know you, whether it's